Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about Carmelo Anthony injecting life into this Lakers roster, and should Austin Reaves get more minutes. But first, with how well Carmelo Anthony is playing, you got to be hyped. And if you are, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and let's dive into today's show. Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. We start off today's show with getting into the latest on Carmelo Anthony, because if there's one thing I know right now, Carmelo Anthony is hooping, and what a job he's been able to do to really resuscitate his career. You take a look at Carmelo Anthony's numbers coming off the bench, making this Lakers bench unit really move at times in the early portion of the season. He's averaging a tick under 17 points per game. He's shooting 50% even from the floor, even better from distances. He's been really lights out as an outside shooter, knocking down threes at a 52% rate, and he's shooting almost 79% from the free throw line. At the time in NBA free agency, I was excited about the Carmelo Anthony signing because of how he played last year in Portland, really how he's been able to pick up his career that was once on the scrap heap a couple years ago. He shot 40% on three-point attempts last year for Portland, even better for the Lakers so far this year. And a lot of people, including the fan base, Frank Vogel as the coach, excited about what they're seeing from Melo. 37 years old. He's in fantastic shape, really balling out. A bright spot for what has been somewhat of a tumultuous start that's been up and down for the Lakers. Vogel saying this about Melo: when he's providing that kind of performance, speaking of what he did against the Houston Rockets in a win over the weekend on the defensive side of the ball, with the way that he's shooting it, man, he's a huge part of our win tonight. Carmelo kind of voicing his frustrations with the detractors as well as the haters who said this guy doesn't have anything left in the tank, don't see why the Lakers signed yet another old player. Well, hey, he's answering those critics with his play. He said this: it creates so much space for myself, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis to work our pick and roll magic when you have guys like Melo and guys that can space the floor and keep guys honest on the perimeter. And to the haters, he said this: I think people don't really understand me. I think there's a misconception out there about me and not being able to adapt to situations. But I'm easily adaptable, man, to any situation. And that's a big reason why Melo has had this second part of his career when he wasn't even able to get a job just a couple years ago. And his floor spacing for this specific Lakers team has been so crucial in the early portion of this season, because you're looking at a team that without Wayne Ellington to start the year, as some of these other guys who are shooters and floor spacers do recover from some of these respective injuries, the Lakers don't have a lot of shooters. Carmelo has been able to provide that at a very, very elite level. And we talk about Melo being adaptable. You don't play like this if you don't adapt and evolve and come into camp in really good shape. And Carmelo Anthony has been able to do that so far this year. He deserves credit for really reviving his career, because it looked like a few years ago nobody was going to take a shot on Carmelo Anthony, and you were looking at the downfall of his career. Instead, to round out what is a Hall of Fame career, it's Carmelo Anthony coming into camp in excellent shape. You could tell he worked on his body, worked on his game in the offseason. He wanted to kind of elongate his career, and he's been able to do that in impressive fashion with the Los Angeles Lakers this year, really giving them crucial minutes off the bench as a shooter who really is just lighting it up and has just injected so much energy into this offense. So the NBA came out with its top 75 list. Carmelo Anthony was on it, but do you think he's even better than just being a top 75 player? Voice how you feel about this in the comment section right now and fill in the blank. Carmelo Anthony is a top blank player of all time. Is he a top 50? Is he a top 20? Let me know. Definitely one of the best bucket getters the NBA has ever seen. Today's sponsor, it is our sportsbook, BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus by going to chatsports.com/Lakers and you enter the promo code Lakers125. What that means is you put $100 into your account, you get an additional $125 back upon using that link in that promo code after you sign up. NBA title odds, even though the Lakers right now are 4-3 and they've been up and down to start the year, they're still second in title odds behind the Brooklyn Nets at plus 450. The Bucks in the conversation as well, plus 750. $1.50. The Warriors with decent value there at 9-1 odds. You put down $1, you win 9 if the Warriors end up winning the title at those current odds. Get your bets in. Lay that money down. It's chatsports.com/Lakers. Enter the promo code Lakers125. If you have any questions about this, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. Next up on the show docket, the Lakers really seem to have something with Austin Reaves, who they signed after he went undrafted in this past year's NBA draft. Now, this was a guy who was really a good player at Oklahoma. On my top 100 big board around the time of the NBA draft, he was really on there, and I was shocked that he didn't get drafted by any team across the league, but he has proven his worth and has proven his value in the early portion of this season, just like Carmelo Anthony has. Austin Reaves, I don't think anybody expected him to get around 20 minutes per night, but that's what he's been able to do as an undrafted rookie, and he's made the most of a lot of his opportunities, playing really solid defense, giving this team a lot of energy, and also spacing the floor, knocking down some threes as a floor spacer and floor stretcher, averaging 5.5 points per game, shooting around 54.5% from the floor and just shy of 39% from distance. And we're talking about Austin Reaves because I personally think that he should get more minutes in this playing rotation. Kendrick Perkins of ESPN agrees with me, and I thought that he made some interesting points here. Carry the hell on, as producer Jack Lauderay in my ears saying right now. Perk is just a legend. He said this over the weekend. Vogel needs to give all of Kent Bazemore's minutes to Austin Reaves, but I get it. The Lakers probably promised Kent minutes when he signed. Don't mind me, though, and carry the hell on. Again, I agree with Perkins here. Don't really agree with Frank Vogel starting Kent Bazemore. I think that coming off the bench, he's better suited in that role to give this team energetic minutes off the bench as well. But Hillbilly Kobe has earned more minutes with his play throughout the Las Vegas Summer League, which then carried over into the preseason. And you're seeing it before our eyes right now in the regular rotation, in the regular season, that Hillbilly Kobe has a lot of value as a rookie. And here's the thing, too. He's going to be really, really affordable for the next couple of years because he was undrafted and was able to work himself out of that two-way contract to get that contract basically guaranteed. Frank Vogel on Reaves said, simply, he's been outstanding for us on both sides of the ball. And even though you're looking at his numbers saying, 5.5 points, it's not all that much. Kent Bazemore can basically do the same thing. The development of the young player has been impressive as well for the work that he's put in his developmental story. Anthony Davis said this last week on Reaves, any rookie can get scared in the moment, overtime, fourth quarter. The first time he has been through that in a close game as far as the NBA level, and he stayed composed the entire time. He is definitely a guy that we can use throughout the season. 20 minutes per game, I think you might see the uptick there with Reaves' minutes if he continues to play very well. So would you like to see Reaves play a little bit more? Are you siding with Kendrick Perkins and yours truly? Because, hey, we know hoops better than anybody, right? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get those votes in. And as always, thanks for watching today's Lakers Report.